the XL back with my latest NFXL podcast, and it's time to look at week 12 in the NFL. So, after 11 weeks of action, it's pretty much 7 from 11 in the AFC and also in the NFC, with 10 teams pretty much out of postseason contention. So, who can take another step towards the playoffs and who will suffer a setback in that pursuit in week 12? 12 of the 14 games this week have postseason implications. So, it's going to be a week that makes a big difference to teams. So let's have a look at who might come out on top in those games. But in part one of this preview, which I'm just going to cover the Thursday night game, and I'll also just list out my fantasy tips for this week. No, I won't bother with that. Skip that. I'll do that in a separate piece. Change your mind. So Thursday night football, Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. The Bills are still in pursuit of the Patriots in the AFC East, but this game presents them with a chance to widen the gap between themselves and a team pursuing them in the AFC wildcard race. For the Texans, they are 3 games adrift to the Colts in the AFC South, so the wildcard route looks to be their only possible way into the postseason. This Texans defense is top 5 ranked against both the run and the pass, and will simply have to be at their best to keep the Bills within their offensive range here, as they rank 18th for pass offense and a lowly 24th for run offense. And the Bills' Achilles heel has been their run defense, but as the Texans are ranked just 24th for that, they do not look to have a team that will really be able to exploit that weakness to the same effect as others have. And with the Bills ranking 3rd against the pass, it doesn't bode well for Houston's offensive scoring power here. The Bills are one of the best teams running the ball in the league and rank 8th for pass offense, although Josh Allen has been sacked 20 times and thrown 7 picks this season. So the Texans' pass rush has to get to Allen and force a mistake or two from him if they are to pull off a win here. The Texans have not allowed an opposing quarterback to rush for a touchdown this season. So after Allen's 6 touchdown, 3 on the ground show last week, maybe that won't happen this week. But they have allowed 8 rushing touchdowns to opposing running backs. So maybe James Cook might be the guy that needs to convert for them in the red zone here. But it's the Texans' own ineffectiveness in the red zone that will likely cost them this game, as the Bills get a touchdown or two where the Texans are limited to field goals. So Buffalo to win here unless they pressure Allen into multiple errors, which I just can't see him doing enough. So I'm going to take the Bills to win by 23-19. Just looking down my list of fantasy do's and don'ts. Well, I'm sort of shying away from Josh Allen. I'm saying putting him in the negative column because, like I say, I'm not sure Houston will be tough on allowing him into the end zone on the ground. James Cook is a plus on the running back side for Buffalo. Anybody else from Houston? I'm not seeing any names from Houston so far. Going down through wide receivers. Stay away from Khalil Shakir is my wide receiver suggestion. And on tight ends, just avoid both Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. Don't think they'll have a good game. I think it's going to be a low scorer. So any kickers in there? Nope. Forget that. Well, maybe Matt Prater for the Bills. Might be worth a look. So that's the fantasy look, but I'm going to take the Bills to win this by 23-19. So that's a quick whiz through Thursday night football. I'll come back with my part 2s and part 3s before Sunday's action. And probably tomorrow I'll put out my full list of fantasy record do's and don'ts for this week. So stay tuned for those. See you soon.